Welcome to Behind the Comedy. On today's show, we'll be examining the rise and fall of Marky Mark and the Marky Bunch, a seminal comedy act from right here in Charleston. On today's show, we have Mark Lewis, one half of the dynamic duo. Now Mark, for those at home who aren't familiar, could you walk me through what an average show looks like? Just give me a sense for the format.
So I think the show really started before we ever even stepped out on stage. People don't really think about the amount of effort and preparation you put into an act like this.
Zip, zap, zop, zip, zap, zop, zip, zop. Fuck! God damn it! Fuck it, every time! Fuck!
Then once we were actually out there, we'd start off with some of our killer material, our tried and true stuff. We found it best to try and get the audience on our side as quickly as possible.
I'm from New Mark City. What about you? I'm from Denver.
So once you got the crowd warmed up, then what would you move on to?
From there, we'd usually go into some of our more improvised stuff.
So, who's this guy here? Is this your boyfriend or something?
Yeah, this is my husband.
That's really great. You two make a really handsome couple.
And after that, we'd usually give Mark some time to do his thing, Part of being an effective partner is compromise, so I try to throw him a bone when I could and give him his creative space on stage.
Now, Mr. Lewis, when you say let Mark do his thing, what do you mean?
Yeah, he'd explode stuff with his mind.
So Mark, did you always want to be a comedian?
Oh no, not at all. When I was in high school, my career counselor asked that I take this aptitude test, and really it just told me that I need a job where I can blow shit up with my mind, so this seemed like the natural choice.
Fascinating. Did you always have this ability?
Yeah, as far as I can remember.
To try and get to the bottom of this crucial element of Mark's comedic style, we've decided to consult with an expert.
I'm Dr. Rebecca Sadler. I'm a physics professor at Yale University and the world's leading Mark scholar. I've been studying him for several years.
Great, thank you for being here. What do you think it is about the comedic style of Marky Mark and the Marky Bunch that makes him resonate so much with people?
Well, I'm not sure how I feel about that question. I would not be quick to describe Mark Johnson as a comedian per se. He mostly in every show just answers the questions that Mr. Lewis asks and then initiates something that we in the field refer to as Marcus combustio.
That's really interesting. Now, regarding their comedy, what do you think of their act?
Their act? Well, there's a lot more to Mark Johnson than their act. His scientific potential is absolutely undeniable. He's been the subject of many textbooks, and the comedy has always come secondary. I think even the name.
Mark Johnson is just the best. I love him so much. The way he can blow things up with his mind, he is just so cool.
And what about Mark Lewis?
He's cool too, I guess. But did you see the one where Mark Johnson blew up a watermelon with his head?
Clearly, their rise was meteoric. Within their first year, they were selling out venues as iconic as Red Rocks, Madison Square Garden, and Singapore. However, this rise led to a historic fall. The poor sales of the duo's first comedy album was a harsh blow for the comics. Unfortunately, Mark Johnson's comedic style did not translate well to an audio-only format.
I did that with my mind.
Coming up after the commercial break on Behind the Comedy, we'll be going into Mark Johnson's recent string of DUIs and arrests, as well as Mark Lewis's recent stint as a weapon of mass destruction for the Department of Defense. We'll see you there on Behind the Comedy.